higher. Hello? Hey, Papa. Snacks? Yeah, we're a little early. What is your name and age?
Name is Richard Nedry. I am 76 years old.
What is your history?
Well, at a very, very early age, I was entertaining people, singing, dancing, and as I matured, I ended up taking piano lessons, which isn't unusual for young kids when they're got a mother that's got some musical background. And from there I went into playing trumpet, and I was absolutely terrible. So from there I decided I wanted to be a drummer, and by then my parents had almost lost hope in terms of making me any kind of a protege. But in any event, I did. I became a drummer and started playing in a band when I was about 16. From there, of course, like any life, you get a career going or a job first, or education. I went to Northern Alberta Institute of Technology and graduated from there, and then got out into the working field, got married, divorced sadly, and then finally met the wife I have now, and life hasn't looked back since we got married, really.
How long have you been married for?
47 years.
What do you think some pitfalls or downsides you've had that have shaped who you are today?
Pitfalls. Not many that was really a kick in my butt. I mean, we all have ups and downs and disappointments as we journey through our life. But maybe my first marriage was when I say disappointment, because I went in thinking that this was forever, and it just didn't work out that way. So I look back on that as probably my only, I wouldn't call it a failure, I guess. But that's about it. Other than that, my life has run down the highway pretty good, until I got cancer.
How long have you been diagnosed with cancer for?
Just about 2 years this coming April will be when they first found out I had it.
How do you feel about it?
It never really upset me that much. You see and hear people, and I'm sure they're sincere, they break down and cry as soon as someone tells them they've got cancer. And I'm very optimistic and very front moving type of guy, and for me it was more, what are we going to do about this? Okay, I have it. What's next? Let's get on with it, because I don't want to have cancer. And if you can save my life or keep me alive longer, let's go down that road. And some of it wasn't very pleasant, but I guess I kept telling myself that, look, there's people who have worse cancer than you or worse disease than you, and quit whining in your head, just get on with it, which I pretty much did.
Are you happy with all the choices you made to get here, even with knowing the fact and accepting the fact that you have cancer?
Well, certainly you have no control over getting a disease usually. I mean, I guess you can avoid colds if you live your life properly, but I wasn't shattered by it. It was just a thing that, oh crap, something else to have to deal with. But as I said earlier, I didn't get too bent out of shape about it at all. The only frustration I have is it's taking so damn long to get me back on the right road, because I'm far from being cured. So, well, that's not exactly true. I mean, when they removed my bladder and my prostate, that was a big change, and they claimed they got all the cancer, but they've now found that I have some maybe in my lung, which is like, oh boy, it's all I need. So now I got to deal with that, and that's just basically how I think about it. Just when can we start dealing with it? So happens to be in December.
How do you think you'll be remembered after you pass?
That's a good question. I've always been a bit of a character. My grandkids and my people who know me learned that pretty quick. I always try to make people happy and laugh and tell jokes or whatever. And my dad told me once, he said, Ricky, that's what he used to call me. He says, you got to cut some things up on the rug before you die so that they'll have something to talk about you when you die. And I thought, no, that's good advice. So I sure planted a lot of those seeds in my 76 years of doing goofy shit. And I guess for me, I'm not afraid of dying. That doesn't really scare me. What scares me is dying, because I'm not ready yet mentally. Like I'm not ready to pack it in and just give up or whatever it is. I mean, and yet you have some choice, but obviously medical choices and listening to your doctors. And I suppose if you do what they tell you, you might get another half a day or so. So I'll miss my family mostly. And as I mentioned earlier, I've always been into music, so I'll miss that. But being a non-religious person, I don't think you miss anything. I hope I'm wrong, but I think when the lights go out, that's that. You're just not here anymore. So no one can tell you that till you know or not know.
What would you say to someone or a group of people who are going through maybe similar mental states of grief? Maybe not with dealing with a disease, but with loss or just general sadness.
Well, I'm certainly not a psychiatrist, but as I said earlier, we're all going to die. I mean, there's just no if and answer about it. And unfortunately, people die young, they die middle-aged, they die old. And for me, I just tell people that when I get asked questions such as that is, live your life as best you can every day and try to keep in the back of your mind there is going to be somebody or somebody's, no doubt about it, that are living a life worse than yours and would trade places with you in a heartbeat, even though you're not well or sick or maybe on the road to this is it. So yeah, I just think you can't avoid it, and grief is a healthy thing to have, but eventually you just have to move on. I mean, we're here to live, and I don't think if someone close to me died, and talk as cheap as it hasn't so far, of course I'm going to be upset and concerned and whatever emotions go through your mind. But I'm going to pick myself up and say, I'm going to remember the good times I had with whoever that might have been, and because I have had a bit of death in the last year, friends and so forth. And I don't dwell on it very long, because it serves no purpose. Because we're all given a moment, lots of them or not, but until you die. And why would one want to dwell on moments that make you unhappy? I try to dwell on moments that would make me happy. And that sounds easier said than done, of course, but that's really your choice. You can either wallow in sadness and upsetness and whatever you want to call it, or just take a deep breath and say, hey, I'm going to go to the mall and have something to eat, or an ice cream cone, or whatever it is that can make you happy. Because that's healthy.